Judgment Day never occurred and Skynet never came into being. Instead, a new artificial intelligence called Legion appeared on the scene, and by 2042, the machines have risen again and taken over. A Terminator has been sent back to kill the new mother of humanity, Dani Ramos. However, Dani has protection of her own in the form of an augmented human named Grace. The two soon happen across another ally in the form of Sarah Connor, but to take down this new Rev 9 model Terminator, they're going to have to turn to some unlikely assistance. This is Terminator Dark Fate. So, yeah, I'm probably going to have some really big spoilers in this one. I'll try not to summarize the whole plot, but there's kind of not a lot of plot in this, unfortunately. There's a lot of action scenes and really well done action set pieces in this. So I will say that. I would say the performances in this are really good, really solid performances, especially from Linda Hamilton, and a scene-stealing turn from Arnold Schwarzenegger that actually provides quite a bit of humor. Yeah, and I do mean quite a bit of humor. In fact, there's a lot of humor in this. It's got a very kind of dark sense of humor to it, and that is enjoyable. Unfortunately, the plot itself is very pedestrian. This is possibly the best Terminator 3 we could get, but yeah, that's not really a high bar to clear. And to be honest, yeah, I mean, I'll admit I liked Terminator Salvation, but I can understand the problems people had with it. So, especially when it was rated PG-13 for its theatrical release, I saw the R-rated cut on Blu-ray. But this movie itself, like I said, it has some highs, but it also has some kind of, I don't want to say lows because it's not bad, but just kind of boring parts. Basically, I'm going to start this right off the bat. So there is no John Connor. The Edward Furlong cameo is a de-aged Edward Furlong in 1998, and a T-900 model Terminator does come out of the water and shoots him and kills him. He's killed off in the first 90 seconds of the movie, basically. So yeah, John Connor is dead. Skynet does not come into being. Like I said, it's this new AI called Legion, because human beings are idiots and we just don't learn. It's not Cyberdyne, it's someone else who creates it. And it will get to the twist with Dani, and even though it's not really that big a twist, unfortunately. But what happens is, like I said, basically it's like, even though Skynet never came into being, Skynet didn't just send back one Terminator. It sent back, bunches of Terminators, and they would pop up every so often. And unfortunately, one did pop up in, I want to say it was Guatemala, and caught John off guard and killed him. And I mean, Sarah and John were at this kind of cabana beach side place, and yeah, it was then this T-900 model killed John, and that's how that turned out. But ever since then, Sarah Connor has still hidden, but she started receiving these covert messages to where Terminators are popping up. I guess they're still Skynet Terminators because she keeps killing them. Yeah, again, even though like Skynet didn't really come into being, and I'll get to the reason how that happens later. But we get to Dani Ramos, who works at an auto plant where everyone's getting replaced by machines. Get it? Her family is killed right away. Like, she has a brother who kind of aspires to be a singer, and a father who gets killed when the Rev 9 model Terminator, which is kind of like the Terminatrix. I think was it the TX model from Terminator 3, the Kristana Loken, I'm sorry, Terminator, who has the liquid metal skin over the hard endoskeleton. It's kind of the same thing, except this one can actually replicate itself, and it can only mimic you if it's had physical contact. It needs to have some type of physical contact. So yeah, there's a little bit of that. And then Grace is an augmented human who has to regulate her body temperature at times. She needs this medicinal mixture that has to be injected into her that keeps her core temperature regulated and keeps her from just melting down. Grace is helping Dani Sarah happens across them, and they wind up trying to find this informant that Sarah has. Maybe he knows something. And we all know who the informant is, obviously, when we get to it. And it's from that, again, like, they're coming for Danny. So Sarah naturally assumes that Danny is going to be the mother of the new resistance leader. Yeah, put a pin in that. We do get that, yeah. And like I said, Grace was augmented. She was in a battle where she was severely injured, and she volunteered for augmentation. Basically because she needed to save Danny. Danny's very important to her. Put a pin in that. Anyway, yeah, so obviously we haven't seen the trailers. The big spoiler with the informant is that it's a Terminator, and it's the Terminator that actually killed John. And what happened was, after he killed it, because there was no future to return to, Skynet was averted. Like I said, all the Terminators arrived at roughly the same points in time, but from a future that never happened. And the ripples from the time effects, like, the Terminators can all sense that. And in this sort of time frame, the Terminator, who adapts the name Carl, marries a single mother and kind of grows a conscience. Like, it even says it's a marriage of convenience. It's not really a marriage out of love, but you can tell, like, he actually has grown to love this mother and son. And like I said, it's like he basically becomes human, but he can sense when the other Terminators have the points in time where the other Terminators were arriving, and so he started covertly sending messages to Sarah Connor via a cell phone, and he was constantly texting her, okay, you need to be in this place to take this Terminator out, you need to be at this place to take this Terminator out, you need to be at this, because they're just going to come and hunt you even though John's already dead. Yeah, exactly, because that's all they've been programmed to do. She doesn't know this until they eventually meet him, because they have to sneak across the border into Texas. And it does, like I said, there's a few funny points with him. Like I said, he's married, and so he does sort of talk about this, and he runs basically a drapery business, a drapery installing business. And there is one point where he's actually kind of regaling them with the problems with people wanting these ridiculous setups with their drapes. It's like, no, you don't want that. There's another point, because again, he's been preparing for another Skynet or something to cause another apocalypse. So he's been stocking weapons. He says, yes, I stocked these in case there was another apocalypse or another rise of the machines. Also, I live in Texas. So there's kind of like some good humor with that. And it's eventually, like I said, the big reveal with Danny is she's not the mother of the leader of the Resistance. She's the leader of the Resistance. It's not really that big a twist, because it's telegraphed very early on. We have Grace having this dream, and you see, like, the leader is heavily bandaged, but you can kind of see, like, it's the actress who plays Danny's face in there. And it's like, yeah, I figured that out already. You're treating it like it's this big twist, but it's not. You telegraphed that thing way early on. That's like, and that is a novel idea. Unfortunately, too, the plot, and like I said, while there are some great performances and some great action set pieces, the plot itself is just kind of, yeah, it's very middling. Like I said, this is new Terminator 3, because obviously with John Connor being dead, the original Terminator 3 never happened. Probably a good thing, but you get the idea. So yeah, no Skynet, now we have Legion, which, to be honest, kind of is worse than Skynet. I mean, that's the best you could come up with. So yeah, anyway, obviously they, more shenanigans happen. The Terminators basically all get killed, but Danny is now imbued with the confidence to become the leader of the Resistance and try to, again, avert Judgment Day before it can happen, and she and Sarah begin working together to do that. So yeah, that's about it. Like I said, like I've been saying throughout this, very strong performances, very nice action set pieces. The early car chase with the Terminator, with the T9, was it Rev 9? Sorry, the Rev 9 model Terminator and Grace, and they're in the truck, and that's how Sarah Connor gets introduced. Like, that's really well done. I'd say the final battle is really, again, got some really great moments in it. Some of the scenes from the future are really well shot and everything. James Cameron produced this. He did not direct, obviously, but you can still tell like this is more something that he would have thought up, even though, like I said, it's a lot of plot similarities to Terminator 3, so I don't know how much of that is through here. My phone kind of went off. Maybe it fully charged, I don't know. Anyway, where was I? So, yeah, unfortunately, the plot itself is just kind of, again, ideas that are supposed to be surprising really aren't. And, like I said, humor does, like, the humor and some of the performances do bolster it up, but, like I said, it's still pretty threadbare at best. I am going to give Terminator Dark Fate, I also said Terminator Dark Knight, Terminator Dark Fate gets a C.
Now, from Banquet comes...
What is it, Cynthia? What is it?
Giblet gravy and sliced turkey.
Yes, giblet gravy and sliced turkey, together in the most significant frozen dish of our time, buffet supper.
Winner of 3 Banquet Academy Awards. Best sliced turkey.
Best performance by a giblet gravy in a supporting role.
Best performance by a housewife.
I just put it in the oven, and by and by it was done. And I had a delicious buffet supper. Oh, yes, I did. Slices of turkey, all covered with gravy and little bitty giblets. Do you hear me?
From the same producers who brought you Beef Stew,
Salisbury steak with gravy,
and the unforgettable chicken and dumplings, comes the outstanding banquet production of the 20th century, giblet gravy and sliced turkey.
Color by Paprika, now appearing citywide in a frozen food section near you.
Okay, trailer time, and we do have, I think, at least 3 new trailers. I can't remember if we had one of them before, but there's at least, I'm guessing there's at least 2. There's at least 2. I'm trying to think about this third one, but I'm just going to run on the idea that we never had it. So it's at least new. It felt new, at least. First out, we had Knives Out again. Now, I think originally Knives Out was supposed to be rated R, except now it's down to a PG-13, so I wonder what happened. Then we had Midway again, Black Christmas again, Ford versus Ferrari again, and I believe this is the first time we've had this trailer. We had Birds of Prey, so yeah, I mean, obviously looking forward to that. Then we had the Rhythm section. I'm trying to think what this was like a. It was a woman's family gets killed and she goes out looking for the people who did it. That's all I can really say. And then we had Like a Boss again, and that was not a new one. I know that. I know we had that one once before. That's Tiffany Haddish and Rose Byrne, and their Penelope Cruz. Was it Selma Hayek? No, it's Penelope Cruz. Basically steals their company from under their noses. So yeah. Nothing too spectacular there, I guess. Anyway, so next video after this is going to be the random trade review on All New Dupe, sorry. Wrestling-wise, yes, I am aware of what happened at Crown Jewel. I did not watch it, but I have gotten alerts, obviously. I'll save that for later. I did idiotically forget to post the itinerary last week, so I'm just going to take a little pause here. We're going to put the itinerary up. Okay, so as you saw, the next movies are Last Christmas, Charlie's Angels, Frozen 2, and Knives Out. And first week in December, there's just nothing there. So there's not really anything coming out. And then you saw the December lineup, hopefully, as well. So see you all next time. Hey guys, check out my Patreon and see how you can request a movie for me to review, even if it's some stinker like A Dog's Way Home or the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Also, if you like what you see, give the video a like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell.